and welcome to the third lecture on this course on web scraping with Python offered by Edwanix. So in the past lecture, we have seen how to parse XML trees, so how to parse like a wire format which comes in an XML with an XML format. In this case, we're gonna see the second one, so another format which can be like a JSON. That's like something we have introduced in the first lecture, if you remember. So normally, like when we want to transition from a Python dictionary to data on the web, which can come like in the format of a Java hash map, that data has to be serialized and deserialized. And this deserialization passes through one so-called like wire format. And there are several. In this course, we're studying like two of them. First one is an XML wire format, which is what we introduced in the past lecture. And now we go on to the second one, which is like a JSON format. The concepts here like are very similar. So the exercises we're seeing in this lecture are very similar to the one we have seen in the past lecture. As you can see here, actually the data that I've created is very similar. Well, let's get started. So first of all, in this case as well, we will need one Python library to parse JSON data, which is called just like simply JSON. If you don't have it installed again, go into the terminal, do pip install JSON, and it will go on. Click and hit enter, and it will just like automatically install it. In this case, I won't do it because I already have it installed. So let's go back to the HiPython console, and I go here. So in this case, as I said, my Python has already like a JSON library installed in it, so I don't have to install anything. So I'll just like import it and it'll go through, and then I'll just pass the data. So in this case, data goes into brackets, and it comes again in a format of like a string with the argument which look like Python dictionary, something we could be familiar with, and it gives like a name, phone number, type, number, and email, hi, yes. So okay, and the data is passed as a string, as we can see here. So great. So now that the data has been passed as a string, we want to get the information out of this data. How do we do that? So we pass here the info, and we load from JSON library. We use JSON.loads data, which will load the data into an info variable. And the info variable is just like as simple as a dictionary. So because as I said, this JSON format is very similar to dictionary. If we can't say actually it is dictionary, so everything will be parsed as dictionary. So we can see we have like a key and a value. Key in this case is an email, and it has like a value which is another dictionary, which with the key id and value yes. And then it goes on with the key name value Michele, and then key with the phone, and it goes with another dictionary with type international and number with a phone number. As simple as that. And this is passed like with values and keys. So we just need to call the key and get back the value. That's the key, let's say the core concept behind a Python dictionary. Once the info has been loaded, everything we have to do is just like go into the info and ask and call the name. Call the name, and it gives back the information, the value corresponding to the key you're calling, which in this case is name. So we call the key name, and we get back the value of the name, which is my name, Michele. Great. So we can just as simple as that. Oops, wrong. I hit F10. I hit F9 instead. Now we get name Michele. As simple as that. Now we go in this case info email. Now if I do for example only info email, what is it I get? I get hide yes, because if I go, the logic is, if I go in here and I get info email, then I will get another dictionary. Now within that dictionary, I want to get something else. I want to get the value of height. The value of height, which is yes. So which is I have that then like pass two keys. One is the email, another one is height, and it will just like automatically print it. and it gives height, yes. As simple as that. In this case, if you wanted to like get, for example, like the number, what should we do? We should just like pass print in this case number, and then we just give info, and then from the info, oops, and then from the info, I just want to get the number. Oops, what's wrong? Because it's within, so number is within phone, so I have to first give it phone variable because it won't find it. So first of all, I have to look for the key phone, and within the key phone there will be number. Exactly. This, for example, because it's on the phone number, it's on the phone. So I have to first like look for the key phone and then look for the key number. Same if I want to look for the type. So if I want to look for the type, I just switch number to type and I can get type, which is international. Great. Now let's go on to something more complicated. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I feel like it's very straightforward, and if you understood the concept behind XML and a little bit of JSON, then probably you can pass through this like very easily. In this case, we have another example. Another example with data, with another data variable, which has in this case, this is info. So I pass it now to data, which has an ID, X name, blah blah blah, same as what we passed basically in the first past lecture for XML. And now in this case, I want to load the JSON files and JSON files into like an info, which is like to dictionary. And now I will parse through those. So the info is a list with two values, and each value will contain a dictionary. And then I create a loop and I parse through the dictionary to look for the two values which are within this list and retrieve the information I'm looking for. So first of all, again, as for the last example, I print the user count, which in this case is 2, and it's referring to the length of the list info. And then for each item in the info, I'll be like printing name, which goes into item and read the name, item ID, and item attribute. In this case, X is like random attribute. Then it goes through and it reads all of this. As simple as that. So I think in here I don't want to spend like more time because I think it's pretty straightforward, and you guys can probably like learn through it by doing some more exercise. In this case as well, I suggest you download some more or you find online some more complex JSON structure and trying to use this basic concept you have learned in this lecture to apply through to this more complex like JSON structure and try parsing those. You'll probably be able to do that if you have fully understood this concept. Thank you for watching this, and let's go on with the next one. Thank you.